Hi, Dion from Evolution Support Services here, and welcome to this EFT tapping. That's a different type of EFT tapping today. Now, typically with a one-on-one session, we are not just doing one long tapping round as like in other videos. We're normally breaking it up into sections and we're checking in on the issue that we're actually tapping on. So sometimes when we tap upon an original issue, new thoughts, new emotions can be just beneath that original what we thought was the issue. And we're also giving that issue a SUDS scale, or a subjective unit of distress scale. So 10 being the most amount of intensity that you can feel around a particular emotion or a feeling, and 0 being no issues at all. So 10 being the most amount of stress that we can feel about something, and 0 being no stress at all. And normally after a round of EFT tapping, we check in also on the SUD scale to see if it's gone up or if it's gone down, because we're trying to bring it as close to 0 as possible, if 0 at all. And sometimes when we do touch upon a wound or an emotional wound, it can flare up before it goes down, just part of the healing process. Now, I want to do an EFT tapping on the topic of fear of failure. And using a subjective unit of distress scale, we'll check in on our emotions and feelings about this and see how that feels within our body when we think about the fear of failure. And just noticing the emotions that come up around that. And giving that a SUD scale rating of 10 being the most amount of stress or intensity around that, and 0 being none at all. And now that we have that, we'll do 3 rounds on this topic. 2 on the actual topic and 1 finishing with a positive. So if you've got your SUD scale, let's check in after we've done a round of EFT tapping and see if it's gone up or down. So taking full responsibility for your own well-being and repeating after me, let's begin to tap and let's go with that flow. Even though I have this fear of failure, and this fear is preventing me from achieving so much in life, and so much that I want to bring into my life because of this fear of failure. And I choose to love, honor, and accept myself, even though I really want great things for myself. And I want to do things in my life. But this fear of failure really gets in my way and causes me great stress. And I choose to love, honor, and accept myself, even though this fear of failure, it's really scary to do the things in life that might bring me greatness or wellness within. And this fear of failure doesn't feel too good. And I choose to love, honor, and accept myself. This fear of failure, this failure, and this fear of failure, I feel it within my body. I feel it within my mind. And it's really scary, this fear of failure. There's things that I want to achieve, things that I want to do, but I have this fear of failure. All this failure and all this fear. And it can be overwhelming. And it can be constricting. And it can prevent me from doing so much more and being so much more in my life. And I hit this wall, this fear wall that I can't see over, that I can't get under. It's really in my way. And when I look at the writing on this wall, it tells me that I'm a failure. And it makes me feel bad. And it really undermines my confidence. This fear of failure. Maybe I don't want to be a failure. And maybe I don't want to tell myself I'm a failure. And maybe I don't want this fear in my life, preventing me from doing so much. Maybe I do want to be more and tell myself so much more than this fear of failure that is before me. And I'm open to that in mind, body, and spirit. And taking a deep breath in and out. You can move your body around, stretch, get a bit of movement, freedom into the body, however you like. If you've got some water or anything like that, you can have a sip of that. And just checking in with your body, seeing how that feels within you. If you've had a SUDS score before, seeing where that is for you, if it's gone up, if it's gone down, if it's stayed the same. There's no right answers. It's just what is. So just checking in with that. And when you're ready, we'll go again. Even though this fear of failure, this scary fear, that writing on the wall, telling me I'm a failure. And I choose to see differently. And I choose to love, honor, and accept myself. Even though this fear of failure, this writing on the wall, that has been echoing in my mind when I hear these words, these undermining words, that I'm a failure. And I choose to love, honor, and accept myself. Even though I might not want to be a failure. I might want to be more and embody more than this wall in front of me. And maybe I want to write some more kind words on there. And I choose to love, honor, and accept myself. This fear of failure, this fear of failure, this writing on the wall, that's blocking me from achieving so much more in my life. All this fear of failure. And I've been looking at those words, and I've been listening to those words that might be saying that it's not the fear that I'm feeling. It's the failure of being a failure in other people's eyes and in my own eyes. And I fear the shame of that. This writing on the wall that's been preventing me from so much more that I've been looking at and believing to be true. And maybe I'm not a failure. Maybe I've been beating my head against that wall because I believed I had to be a failure. Because in other people's eyes, if I was a success, then if I looked around at the other walls, I might find that I'm in a cage. A cage that tells me that I'm a failure and prevents me from leaving and prevents me from achieving so much more in my life. And it definitely feels like I'm in a cage, that I'm constricted by this fear. And all around me is telling me that I'm a failure. And if I know no different, then that's all that I'll know. But maybe, just maybe, I'm not those bad words that were said to me. I'm those good words within that I choose to tell myself, that I choose to love myself, that I choose to accept myself, and I choose to honor myself by listening to myself, to breaking down some of these walls, to releasing that fear, to releasing that failure, to releasing that shame that was there to confine me. And it's a big world. It's a big world for me to move freely in. I choose to let go of that fear. And I choose to be so much more. And I choose to tell myself that I am capable and that I do have the confidence. And slowly and surely, I shall grow from my confines and empower myself with compassionate words and with healing words that say I'm a growing success and my failures do not define me, nor do they confine me. They are my stepping stones onto so much more, to being so much more. And if I trip and fall, I learn how to walk better from these failures, from these perceived failures, from these stumbling blocks. And when I look at it this way, that everything that I fail at doesn't have to be with shame. It can be a learning experience. There are many people in life that don't perfect things first go. No overnight success. There's a process in that healing. And it takes time. And it's what I'm doing in that time. As I grow in confidence, as I grow with kinder words towards myself, as I empower myself to be so much more, and I learn from my mistakes, and everyone makes mistakes, but they choose not to live in them. They choose to learn from them in mind, body, and spirit. And taking a full breath in and out. And checking in once again with your SUDS score to see if it's gone up or down. And noticing how you're feeling within your body. You can move around if you want. Get a bit of movement. And once we're ready to go again, let's do a positive round to end. So, fear of failure, taking full responsibility for your own well-being, checking in with your body, seeing where that SUDS score sits, and let's go. Even though I have this fear of failure, or perhaps I had that fear of failure, And I choose to look at this failure in a brand new light. And I choose to love, honor, and accept myself, even though I'm healing and growing. And I love myself for trying to do that. And every stumbling block along the way is a step forward. And I choose to love, honor, and accept myself, even though I'm a pretty great person. And I have great qualities about myself. And these qualities want so much more and to be so much more. And I'm thanking myself for that. And I'm letting go of this fear of failure. And I choose to love, honor, and accept myself. I'm a great person. I'm telling myself that. I'm choosing to tell myself some things that really address the problem at hand, that say to myself, yeah, I have this fear of failure, but this doesn't define me. I am definable by so much more, because I'm a changing, healing person, wanting to achieve so much more in my life. And that's pretty great. And I'm grateful for myself. I'm grateful for all my protective mechanisms that did keep me safe. But I'm a pretty smart cookie. And I can let go of this fear now and be so much more of what I want to be and what I choose to be. And I'm healing. And I'm so much more. And I'm a great person because I want greatness within. And that greatness might be to be more than I was than yesterday. And to be in this moment. And to heal in this moment. So I can have so much more great moments for myself. And that's pretty great. And I give myself the love. I give myself the compassion. I give myself the grace to give myself that time to heal. To heal those things that happen to me, but are not a part of me. And I choose to be the whole of me, full of positivity in mind, body, and spirit. And taking a full breath in and out. And for the last time, checking in with your SUDS scale, seeing if it's gone up or down. If it's gone up, rinse and repeat. Go again through the sessions. And if it's gone down, then you can either continue on with the session or if it's gone to 0, nothing more to tap on and go out and be your best version of yourself. So I'm Dion from EFT Support Services, and thank you for watching this new type of EFT tapping video. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.